White House press secretary touting the president's transparent communication style, one of the many reasons he's back on the cover of Time magazine. Let's bring in Turning Point USA Frontline's White House correspondent Monica Page and Republican strategist Luke Ball. You know, it's interesting here because he gave the interview, Monica, to Time magazine. You knew it was going to be contentious, but more than that, it was kind of a little disingenuous. I want to read a little bit back and forth in this. It's the answer of the question is, but now it looks like your administration is deporting hundreds of people for engaging in speech that you don't like. Why? Trump says tremendous anti-Semitism at every one of those rallies. Tremendous, and I agree with free speech, but not riots. All over every college in America, tremendous anti-Semitism going on in this country. Time knows very well that calling for the eradication of a race is not free speech. It's not free speech. That was the whole purpose behind all of these things going on at colleges, and yet Time magazine's like, yeah, it is. It's free speech.
Right. The president raises a great point because, you know, when you think about who exactly is on these college campuses, these are students on visas. You're not technically an American citizen when it comes to that. So if you're going to be in this country on a student visa, you're going to treat this country with respect. You're a guest here. You should start acting like it. And the president, during this interview, I mean, I was reading some of the transcript before, and he's really showing that he's resetting the table. He's undoing what's been done for the last 4 years. And he's doing a tremendous job at it. And this is just one of many things that he's been really cracking down on. And I think other, you know, these campus leaders should really be getting on board with it.
I think they might be. Here's Chris Cuomo. He's now on something else, not on CNN, News Nation or something. And he said the following about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
AOC has done nothing meaningful in Congress. She's done it all on social media. And she's one of your leading names in who's going to be president? Do you not get this concept of 80-20? She's an 80-20 loser all day long. Why? She is clearly catering to a minority. She's her own version of MAGA. She's looking for an outraged enclave. She's not about the majority. She's not about consensus.
You see the people on the left here a little bit concerned because she is getting a little bit of momentum, right? I mean, I agree she doesn't have the gravitas to become the president of the United States, nor does she do good interviews and the things that she needs to really accomplish. But you can see there's this consternation, right?
The Democrats are in the wilderness right now, and they're not looking for a presidential candidate. They are looking for a message for the American people. They don't have one right now. This is the largest and most consequential focus group that the Democrat Party has ever gone through. Polling's expensive, focus groups are expensive, so they're throwing folks out there like Bernie Sanders and AOC or Cory Booker or Chris Van Hollen, all of these other different individuals. Let's see if they choose a more moderate stance or a socialist stance. I'm curious to see what they select.
I'm very curious as well. Meantime, Newsbusters writes the following here. The headline is, Maryland man lie used 506 times conceal Garcia's illegal status. It goes on to say CNN, MSNBC referred to Kilmar Abrigo Garcia as a Maryland man or similar terminology a total of 506 times in 3 weeks. Garcia was described as being from Maryland nearly 5 times more often than he was described as being from El Salvador. It's all the framing of the story, right? It's not what you lie about, it's what you take out, which is the framing and the omissions. It makes it an entirely different subject.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to mention that Rachel Morin's mother, Patty Morin, came into the press briefing room and looked every single media member in the eye that day and had to face these reporters who have been misreporting who this man really is. Her daughter was killed by an illegal alien, and now this media is lying about this illegal alien, calling him a Maryland man. That's got to be gut-wrenching for her to relive that story in the press briefing room to these reporters who have just been lying and fabricating what really happened that day. And it's pretty despicable if you're going to be sitting on national television misrepresenting what's really happening. This is an illegal alien. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, but they won't. Even MSNBC is saying that, listen, if you don't like what you're seeing in the Trump administration, they ran on this, the campaign on this, and he is doing the promises, fulfilling them just like he said he would. Here's the quote.
I mean, even though during the campaign he was very clear that he wished to create the largest deportation force in American history, that would mean a lot of things. And so the surprise to many is almost a question, because he was very clear about this.
Yeah, because the Democrats are like, wait, he's doing what he said he was going to do. Nobody on our side has ever done that.
Well, the Beltway is shocked at what Trump has done, not just because he's done it, but because he's fulfilled campaign promises he said all along he would fulfill. Folks aren't used to politicians making good on their campaign promises. And for the Democrats, this is horrible optics. They're making pilgrimages to go visit MS-13 gang members. I mean, they were calling us a cult. They're making this a religious experience, and they're acting like we deported Mother Teresa. That's not the case here. This is a gang member, and we don't want him back in the country.
And a lot of Democrats are now regretting this choice. You can see that. Monica Page, Luke Ball, thank you both.